the Tarot with Tanya. We are reading this week 7 cards for 7 days starting on Monday, November 14th. The moon will be in Leo on that day, and by next Sunday we end with the moon in Libra. It's a waning moon now since we've had the full moon, so it is diminishing in the sky. The energy is changing that way. And we're moving farther and farther away from that Saturn and Uranus square that has caused a lot of tension for a lot of people, especially if you have planets in the fixed signs, and that is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And yeah, I have them all. I also have a doggy visitor, so if you're hearing the dog in the background, that is why. This week looks pretty good, actually, and I just also want to take a moment and give thanks that the U.S. made it through last week without violence, basically, with no major outbreaks over the elections or anything like that, and I'm so grateful, and I hope that we can keep that peaceful energy going. As always, take what resonates here for you and leave the rest behind. I genuinely hope you find some support, some comfort, maybe some inspiration from the cards. And we will also end today with one of the animal spirit cards from the Wild Unknown. So for Monday, we start with the Page of Pentacles, and this is from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the one by Pamela Smith. And this page, bring it in as close as I can here, is holding obviously a big disc, so super earthy energy. Some people think of this as coin, some kind of tangible thing, and pages tend to be the announcers. Like, here's a new energy that's coming in. So maybe your week can start with some good financial news, some good physical energy, maybe something about your health being better, just something good and tangible that could be made available to you or known to you on Monday. When we get to Tuesday, we have the High Priestess, and she's been showing up quite a bit lately. The great unknown, things that can be hidden, secrets that are kept. And as I've mentioned before, the kind of energy of bringing down esoteric information, channeling, if you will, that kind of energy is with the High Priestess. She's a 2. She's 3rd in the majors, but we start with 0, so she's 2. So there's pairing as well, balance. And as a matter of fact, just as a preview here, we have quite a bit of pairing going on again this week. I'm seeing lots of things that connect. 2 majors, 2 cups, 2 pentacles, things like that. So I feel like she's, a good augur for us, that things that we have been trying to bring to the surface may be revealed. We may feel like we're more connected to our intuition. So again, Tuesday is a particularly good day to tune in to that intuitive part of yourself. When we get to Wednesday, we move into Wands energy, so the instinct, the urge to do something can be like suddenly you understand something without even trying. So this was victory, often seen as victory, and of course that fits here. You have the wreath, you have the person riding the horse, all the wands standing up there. So accomplishing something, or maybe that's the day that it culminates, that you have been working on this and boom, you see some kind of a breakthrough, a good energy. And it's a 6. To me, 6s are all very positive, connected, like I've mentioned before, to the Lovers, number 6 in the majors. So good energy. When we get to Thursday, we move back to that Pentacles. So that's that pairing, the Page of Pentacles and then now the King of Pentacles. He can be seen as greedy to materialistic. That would be more the shadow side, more concerned about stuff than about humans, about our collective, our unity consciousness, things like that. On the brighter side, though, he can be, embodying the divine masculine, an energy that is thoughtful of the future. The idea, if you know that company, the Seventh Generation, well, that idea is borrowed from Native American cultures, some of which focus on the seventh generation, and you don't make a decision that will impact your people until you've thought it through best you can to the seventh generation coming. So when I think of the positive side of this, it's more that kind of energy. How do I nurture in this long-term way? How do I make sure that basic needs are met, physical kinds of needs? It can be somebody who's really good at hugging, things like that, to comforting people in a physical way, playing, wrestling, having a good time. When we get to Friday, here we go in the pairing again, we get the second major for this week. And this is the Tower. So the Tower is disruption, something changing. I always feel like it isn't random. It's something that has come to its peak, perhaps, and it's going to be static or stale, maybe get putrid in some way if things don't change. So it doesn't have to be a hugely disruptive energy at all. It could be like, I'm not doing that thing that you're doing anymore. Or I'm going to go a new direction, possibly in the way that you're thinking about something, an approach to a situation. It's a 7. I mean, it's 16, but numerology, we boil that down to a 7. And that is that momentum for the inner change. And this is particularly true for this card, that it's like, all right, I've come up this tower, I'm at this place. You might even think of the ivory tower, like some kind of idealism, something like that. And I have to jump off. I have to get out of here. I have to change the energy. So again, that is our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday energy. So the one that ends the week, the work week, at least for a lot of people. And on Saturday, to me, this is really the only emotionally challenging card for the week. And it is the 5 of Cups. And I was thinking about this deck because one of my dear friends is so gifted in looking at this, and he helped me see the stories that are in these cards. And here, you've got 3 cups that are knocked over, and the 3 of Cups that obviously came before this: happiness, harmony, creativity, people getting along, women friends, things like that. The 4 gets a little bit more static. 4 is that stable earth number. And the shadow side of that can be being sort of stuck. And then when you get to the 5, it's like, well, it has to change. And you see the downcast, I'm bringing it a little closer to, downcast figure, not happy, obviously. You can tell in the body, the posture and so forth, looking at those spilled cups. But what he or she is not seeing are the 2 cups behind. And to me, those relate to the 2 of Cups love. So even though it may seem like there's, reason to be disappointed for a moment, there's always love behind it. And just turn around and look for what that blessing is. Where is the love? Where is the communication? Where is the partnership? So that would be the positive side of that. And then our last card for the week for next Sunday is the King of Cups. So back to our pairing. This is our second king for this week. They've both been what we call feminine. It's a feminine masculine because you have the elements of earth and water, which are considered the feminine elements. But yet you also have the masculine kings. So beautiful balance there. And this one is especially nurturing. A lover wants to offer, see that big cup there, offer that cup in loving kindness to take care of people, to create situations, policies, where people are feeling supported, feeling nurtured. And, it can represent a person who is near to you in life. All of what we call the court cards can do that. And we have 3 of them this week with the Page of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and then now the King of Cups. So you might look around at those energies, and it's not tied to gender. It is definitely, we all have masculine, feminine, and it's just what we identify with more. What we exude more. So, you might look around for that, or it might be something that's a more internal source. So it seems like the divine masculine is making a strong showing this week, but in that very supportive way, which is awesome. So to give a kind of recap, Monday, hopefully getting some good solid news, something that again might affect your health, might affect your prosperity in a positive way. A High Priestess, those secrets opening up, your intuition growing stronger. If there's any shadow side to that for anyone, it could be some deception, things like that. So trust your intuition. I think that's one of the best things about the High Priestess. And then victory when we get to Wednesday, that over the hump day. So there's something very strong and positive. And, we may have to search for it. Find the victory where you can. And then on Thursday, King of Pentacles, again, that nurturer, that very slow. It can be frustrating for people sometimes because it's like, if you want it to happen now, and I can relate to that, it won't. It'll take longer to manifest. And then boom, the Tower on Friday. So look for that, perhaps external, perhaps internal shift. It's like, I'm not going to do it that way anymore. I'm not going to see it that way anymore. I'm not going to go to this place anymore, or I'm going to go here, whatever it might be. Look for that place where there's that rising up of a kind of energy. And it's like, nope, finished with that. And then finding the silver lining on Saturday of any disappointment. It might seem like a disappointment, but perhaps it is even a secret relief that something has passed, out of your situation for the moment, and look back to that love that is there behind the figure, and then ending on that beautiful, supportive, nurturing, I think inspiring King of Cups. Then for our animal card from the Wild Unknown, Hummingbird. Such a contrast to the shark of last week for our Sunday. That energy was like, we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward. You can't stay stuck. This one, I will read for us what is described here. So, positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar. And it returns to those sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation, which is a great concept for us too. Where do we get nurtured? Where do we get toxic energy, stuff that makes us feel less than, that makes us feel put down? in a way. And we need to avoid those people, those situations as best we can. We can't always, but to keep them out of our energy system. And fill ourselves with more positive energy. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. We're really shifting into, the late autumn time now. It won't be that long till we're at winter. So definitely a good time to make that connection with nature and let it, depending on where you are, of course, but usually we're calming down a bit. Things are getting a little quieter. Can you, inside yourself, make some reflection of that and feel good about it? So follow the way of the hummingbird and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet. Every moment worth savoring. And that is just such a beautiful place to be. And I know I'm challenged and, I'm not there, quite honestly, but it's a great thing to, I believe, at least aspire to. So when in balance, the hummingbird is smart, curious, and loves to learn. When it's out of balance, it can be pushy, insistent, sharp. And if you've ever seen hummingbirds, fight at the feeder, you can imagine that. To bring the self into balance, perhaps take a class, learn something new. Again, go out, explore something in nature, see if you can see a different perspective as well. So there are a couple of things I want to say before I do wrap up here. One is that I've been asked by several people if I would teach a tarot class. So I'm going to put something together. It'll be in the new year. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm not sure how long it will take me. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to offer a beginning, intermediate, and more advanced class, very affordable. And I will, put together something most likely on YouTube, perhaps on Zoom. So please do let me know if you are also interested in that. And thank you for the lovely feedback I have received from some people. It is so helpful. I really, really, really appreciate it. And please consider sharing, liking, subscribing. It definitely will help the channel, help me to keep going and trying to reach, more people. As I mentioned earlier, take what fits for you and leave the rest behind. So, wishing you an absolutely beautiful week, beloveds. Thank you for being here, for being you, and I will see you next week.